Hi guys, I'm back up here with another collective message for the collective. Remember, all messages are not for all, they're for some. Take what you need and leave the rest, as well as we got that slot open for personal readings. If you feel guided or interested in purchasing one of those, you know what to do. You can DM me, we can get you set up, come fuck with your girl, okay? Yeah, so drop a comment, all that good stuff, okay? So this reading or this channel message is really inspired by a conversation that I was having with someone, right? I was talking to this particular person about we was talking about Jesus, right? Because, you know, Easter's coming up. We had the Last Supper. Hey, what's it? Tomorrow, a holiday, the Last Supper or something like that. I don't know. Don't quote me on the days, but we know that Easter's coming up when Jesus rose from the dead, right? So we were talking about this, right? And in the midst of this discussion, a light bulb kind of went off, like a download, right? And it's about, you have to understand who Jesus is, right? Jesus is, the way God delivered and showed it to me, is Jesus is like a receipt. The receipt, right? Physical evidence of a person or a human, right? Walking their path from start to finish, right? From start to finish. So that being said, when you scale back, you know, on this channel, when you scale back, and what we talk about is purpose. Moving in purpose, moving with your source, understanding yourself, all the shit that we talk about here, right? That's who Jesus was in the flesh, right? You have to understand Jesus is just the meat suit of the spirit, right? The meat suit, right? So if you really think of it from that aspect and really scale back and really look at it for what it is, you understand that you're on the same journey, right? You're just up close and personal. You're seeing it from, what do they call it? First person? Right. You're seeing it from first person. But if you zoomed out to third person, you would understand you'll be walking that path just like how Jesus was walking. Right. So it's that energy of understanding that when it comes to religion and when it comes to these different things, these things are the fundamentals of spirituality. That's why you never really see me talk bad or you should be do that. Religion, division, all this stuff, da 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 da. You know what I'm saying? Because those are your fundamentals. You got to understand that's the fundamentals. It's kind of like the fundamentals to algebra, fundamentals to, I don't know, English, to fucking calculus, right? The fundamentals, right? But you still have intermediate and you still have advanced, right? So a lot of people get stuck in the fundamentals of spirituality. The fundamentals, they're still intermediate and advanced, right? So if you really think of it like that, the way you level up in life is, once again, going through those trials and errors. Because I even thought about what's so funny, how God was putting this on my dome piece. I was even thinking about the crucifixion? Is that the word? You know, I be making my own words up. Get the fucking message. I think that's a real word. I think so. Anyways, God or Jesus getting crucified. But in the midst of that, as he's going through the climax, right? He's going through the climax of being crucified and all that stuff. Remember, there was a line, there was a quote in there where Jesus turned around and said, "Hey, God, I need you to come get me. This is fucked up." Hence the human flesh, the meat suit, right? And you know, God, spirit, source, right? Higher self, have to turn away. This is your purpose, right? It's not about the praise of the man. You have to understand you are the man, right? Because I preach this a lot here. I speak about this a lot. You are the walking Jesus. You just got to scale back from first person and see yourself in third person. If you see yourself in third person and really see your path, you will see you're walking through life just like that. The different stories and the different scenarios that Jesus walked through and experienced, and the different people that was spoken about in the Bible are just different scenarios of what a human goes through in life. They're just different lessons that we face in life, different versions, different stages of your life. You know what I'm saying? And it's once you start understanding that, right? When you start to understand that there's so much depth in you, there's so much power in you, there's so much underneath that you really don't know, right? You can get lost in the mask of the fundamentals of everything, right? Everything is not even, it's like, if you take things for face value, you're missing the point. You know what I'm saying? Because I was even talking to this particular person about, like, what's so crazy if you think about the Bible, right? That motherfucker is a weapon right there, bro. If you truly decode it and really understand what is being told to you. What's this? No. Yeah, this ain't that type of reading. This is not that type of video. Anyways, but yeah, what's being told to you? You know what I'm saying? What's really being told to you? And it's like, it's not about over glorifying the man, over glorifying shit. We got to walk the path of, Jesus Christ. And do you know your fucking scripture? Do you know thou shalt not ... right? It's that energy of really looking at his life and dissecting his life and really putting that shit under a microscope and really seeing, like, damn, my dog was really going through it. And I feel like a lot of people miss that. They miss that when it comes to Jesus and the walk of Jesus. There's multiple stories in the Bible where Jesus had very human moments, right? We tend to, from the flipping of the table, from, like, you got to understand, Jesus is a walking example of what duality looks like, but people they misinterpret or overlook that. You know what I'm saying? There's so many walking examples in that book of when God was on if you want to say it like this, on demon time. Dog, like, you got me fucked up. You know what I'm saying? It's that type of energy, really viewing your source, or viewing, because a lot of people I know, because Christianity is, come on now, isn't it one of the most following of people, right, out here, right? So most likely most people have that as a background, because even I do, right? But it's really understanding your fundamentals, right? You have to understand you still have intermediate and you still have advanced, right? But in life, some people like to stay in intermediate, or in fundamentals, right? They choose to stay in fundamentals, right? To even level up to intermediate and to advance, you're going to have to go through a series of lessons and walking through life and skidding your knees a little bit and really facing some hard parts in yourself, right? You understanding that, right? And I'm telling you, it's when it comes to a spiritual walk and a spirituality, and I'm just saying, one of my favorite readers said this shit to me one time. She said, your real age, right? Your real age is the moment that you woke up, right? When you woke up and you realized, shit, there's some shit fucked up. Shit's out of order here. Like, it's like I've been in the Truman Show. You know that moment that you wake up and realize you was in the Truman Show? You know, when you have that moment, right? You know, it'd be fucked up when you find out, shit, I've been in the Truman Show, right? We all know, we all been there, right? But that's the moment. That's your age. So in my case, example would be, I would consider myself, had my awakening unconsciously 2012. Consciously 2018. The shit caught up in 2018, right? So 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'd be 7 years old, right? That's how you have to treat spirituality. That's how you have to treat discovering yourself and discovering who you are as a whole and your full potential. Because all of this stems from, right, your true full inner power, who you are, right? All stems from anchoring it down from the spiritual into the physical, right? This is that type of energy here. Start viewing your life as if I'm the Jesus Christ of my life, right? Start seeing your life from start to finish. So from starting, you are making decisions in your life that's going to dictate the next move, the next lesson, the next cycle that you go in, right? So that being said, that's no different like Jesus, y'all. There's multiple times in the goddamn Bible, y'all, where this man was tempted like a human. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like a fucking human. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just want people to understand he is human like you. He's the spirit having a human experience like you, right? He was the physical receipt, the physical blueprint from start, how we start when we're born, to when we end. And all in between was this man's walk on his purpose. That's all it was. That's all it was. And in the moment you start to understand that, the moment that you wake up to that, is the moment that you unlock your potential. That's the moment you unlock who you truly are. Then that's the moment when you truly manifest. That's the moment when you start living in who you are, in your purpose, fulfilled in life. Sorry, there's a dog outside. Fulfilled in life. Because I feel like, and put a pin in that, because if it comes back, it comes back. They're telling me go this way. Before I woke up in 2018, right, I was going through a lot of shit in my life. I was asking God, there got to be more to life. I was unfulfilled. I was very unfulfilled. I was spiritually deprived, right? Which it all starts like that, right? Where yearning for an understanding, like, this cannot be life, right? It's because the spirit, the soul was calling me towards where I'm supposed to be in alignment with. A lot of our walk and a lot of the resistance that we experience, sometimes it requires, or sometimes we're out of alignment, and sometimes God got to God smack us in a way to put us back in alignment, right? So when we get so far off the path, or when we think about, because you'll never get off the path, because when you answer the call, because everybody got that same opportunity, you'll only go so far, right? Until God's like, bring your ass back. You know what I'm saying? That's how that shit goes. So I'm like, you have to understand as you're walking from start to finish, like Jesus, right? I feel like I'm all over the place, but I have a lot of thoughts, and I'm very inspired and intrigued by the way God put this on me, right? But anyways, as you're walking your walk through start to finish, right? Because we now know that Jesus is that walking example. He's the receipt of what that actually looks like, right? You start to understand that the things that you go through in life, that you experience in life, right? It's a lot of things that's pulling at your attention, and it's pulling at pulling you off of your path a little bit. You know what I'm saying? You know, but it's like, damn, I'm telling y'all, it's like the Hunger Games, man. It's like, oh my God, like, it's like you playing a video game and you're trying to pass the test. You're trying to pass to the next level. You know what I'm saying? The next level. But I'm gonna wrap this up because I feel like I'm rambling, and I feel like I've gotten a point to where I needed to get the point to. But just start viewing your life from that perspective. Start viewing your life as, okay, I'm walking a path, right? I'm being given different choices, having to make different decisions in life for me to level up to the next level of my life. And wherever I land at, okay, or whatever tools was given for me, right, that's in my arsenal, that's in my inventory to use to get to the next level. So hence that could be, you can be Buddhist, you can be freaking Christian, you can be whatever, you know what I'm saying? Whatever what floats your boat. You know what I'm saying? The fact is, right, that is just the fundamentals of your journey. So that being said, let's say, I don't know why Grand Theft Auto is coming to my fucking mind, but it is. You're on level 1, the first mission. That's just it. You know what I'm saying? But you still got intermediate and you still got advanced. So you got to keep leveling up, right? So start viewing yourself from the lens of how Jesus viewed himself. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to understand, man, when you start viewing yourself like that, nothing out here can dupe you. Nothing out here can stand. Nothing, you will never place anything above you, right? That's when you tap into who you are in your potential and that inner power, that inner strength is when there's nothing that can tame you, or you feel like you got to dim your lights, right? A lot of those riddles and a lot of those stories are hinting at different experiences that a human experiences in life. That's all it is. It's just painting, it's just putting a meat suit with it, right? That's all it is. Putting a meat suit. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to leave it there. Remember, all messages are not for all. Remember, if you feel guided or interested in purchasing a reading, you know what to do. Stay tuned. I'm going to get on out of here. I just felt the need to really have to say that and really tap in with y'all, because I really felt like that was like a very powerful message, to a point where I feel the need, not really the need, I'm just intrigued to really dive deep into my Bible and really decode, right? And really decode and really understand, because you know Jay's always looking for teachers in life. You know, what's the truth, motherfucker? What's the truth? You know, so you know, I'm gonna come on here and give y'all the real and put the message out, right? So, anyways, haven't seen y'all in a while. Want y'all to have a good night. Take it easy, and bye-bye.